Hi. Hi guys, how are y'all? I'm so excited. Look at I was only 1 minute late. Listen. I just forgot to put stuff in the description box and I was like, I'm an idiot. So give me 1 second. I'm just going to tweet this out and then we're gonna get started on this party. I don't even know why I'm talking like that. Don't look at me. All right, give me 1 second. Doodle doo doot. Videos. Hi guys. Wait, what did I do wrong? I did something wrong. Never mind. I got it. Did I? Hi Samantha, Tajaria, Chris, Cynthia. What's up? Oh my gosh. I am so excited for this, to be honest. Like, Legion is one of my favorite movies. Give me 1 second and we'll be rocking and rolling because we all know I am not a professional here. I'm just someone who shows up once in a while and that's what I do. It's I can't do it. I can't type. If you haven't already, please like the stream, even though I'm doing a terrible job right now. All right, so that's done. All right. Hey, Julie, Jody, Leary, Feffy, Impress, Pooba, hello, Barbara, Maria. Hi, guys. All right, so first of all, before we even get started, I did want to show y'all one super fun thing I got in the mail the other day. I put this in my Instagram stories, but I have an it mug that says you'll float too. And I'm just like, I drink coffee all day. We're not going to talk about it. So I was like, yes. Hey, Barbara, welcome. I'm so glad you made it. I'm like, here I am. And then just so, hold on 1 second. Because there's a delay. So sometimes I miss some of y'all's comments. So I often come in here as well and then pop on the live chat too on my phone. All right. So Terror Tuesday it is. Listen, I own this bad boy. Okay. This is honestly one of my favorite movies. And it's hard to talk about this one without talking about The Prophecy, because The Prophecy was like the gateway to the angels and demons and the heaven fight, because it kind of took away the bottom level of Satan in the sense, or Lucifer, really. It took that away, right? Because when you had Prophecy and now Legion, you moved everything into a different realm where it's more like heaven is having a fight and Lucifer is just chillaxing like Lucifer does. Lucifer's just like, whatevs, just been here. So Legion is one of those movies that I think people kind of think that it's like corny or hokey or whatever. I actually find it terrifying in several different ways. And let me just come here right quick because I had it up and then I lost it. Movie, here we go. Here it is. I had it up and then I was like, wait. Okay, so one of my favorite things about this movie is how it starts. And the movie starts with her saying, when I was a little girl, my mother spoke of a prophecy of a time when all the world would be covered in darkness and the fate of mankind would be decided. One night, I finally got the courage to ask my mother why God was so mad at his children. That one is just, okay, hold on. We're going to finish it because it like really makes me excited. Oop, there we go. I don't know, she said, tucking the covers around me. I guess he just got tired of all the bullshit. That is honestly one of my favorite quotes. And it's something that I think one of the reasons why this movie is so terrifying is the idea that essentially God got tired and the angels have been fighting this whole time. And it really has absolutely nothing to do with actual hell. There's something terrifying about the idea that the side that's supposed to be good is having some kind of battle with each other on what should actually be happening here. And maybe all of the shit happening on earth is a result of fights in heaven and has nothing to do with hell. That's what I find absolutely frightening about this film and films like it. So yeah, Constantine, Amber, yes. Constantine actually throws that in as well, because you have Prophecy that came out in I think 98, and then I think 2005 is when around 2005 is when Supernatural started. And so even Supernatural started down that same road of the battle is actually in heaven. And it's not, very little of it has to do with hell. Like hell just wants to do what it's doing, doesn't really want to be bothered, wants to keep snatching up souls, the deals. And like heaven is having a battle over mankind and how mankind behaves. I know I'm a little bit dark. I'm sorry. Let me see if I can add a little bit of light for you guys. I wonder if I can just underlight myself. Like, can I underlight me? And like, is that better? I don't know if it's better. We're going to pretend like it's better. All right. So, yeah, and exactly, Pepe. And that quote always sticks with me. Like, I don't know. Maybe you just got tired of all the bullshit. So when you're watching Legion, it starts off with a pretty big bang. Like there's not really, horror film, and I consider like angels and demon movies to be a form of horror, like Fallen is as well. But for this to start off the way that it didn't start off with the town doing this or that, and like it started with the actual action. It started with the action of the film, and it started with the angel coming. And by the way, is this Paul Bettany? Paul Bettany, I think is his name. He has been in several different types of movies like this. He was also in Priest. He just has a very particular look. And I feel like he's a gazillion years old in real life, but for some reason he just doesn't look this old when he's like in these movies. I feel like this was 2011 when this came out, so it's 9 years old. So I feel like when this came out, he was already like 50, and I could be wrong, but he was already pretty old. So, that's a whole other thing. Okay, so Julie, here's the thing about Paul Bettany. He is not that like I thought it was fine as hell too, but like when you see him in other pictures, you're like, whoa, he's old. He's old. Like, and there's nothing wrong with him being old. I'm not trying to be like an ageist. He's just not as attractive as I thought that he was. Like in the movies, he just always looks so like cut and like he's gonna, mess some shit up. You know what I mean? And then he doesn't. Hold on one second. Okay. So, okay. You good? Okay. Everything's good. Okay, so let me come here. This is my favorite place to go for these. I don't really like doing it from this one, but we're going to pull it here because I had it pulled up. I always have everything like pulled up and then, Ooh, Devil's Pass. I will check that out. So Constantine, Legion, The Prophecy, Fallen, these all fall into what I call heaven and hell horror. Like that's what I call it. I call it heaven and hell horror because for some people that wouldn't be scary at all, but for other folks that I find that it's very frightening. And they're still separate from possession horror because possession horror is a different thing. I like to actually separate my religious horror out because if you just say religious horror, like there's some stuff that people will watch and others that like other people won't watch. So I know somebody who doesn't ever watch anything having to do with possession, and so that's a different level. Like the Exorcism of Emily Rose, I would consider possession horror because the whole thing is about her potentially being possessed by the devil. So I like that's how I split it up. It's just like I'll split up home invasion horror as well. Like home invasion horror is a different level of horror, and the original collector actually falls into home invasion horror. So Hush is a home invasion horror as well. All of the Purge, home invasion horror. So I should start like putting together my list and be like, okay. Hi, Tia. We're not. Thank you guys for, I can't. Oh my gosh. And for those of y'all that are patrons, I have, after this live, I'm filming some things specific like for you guys, and it's going to be pretty crazy. So I'm really excited about showing you guys that. Yeah. Alexander Skarsgård. Yes, the Seventh Seal does as well. And then there's that one, well, I can't remember it. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know what it is that makes Paul Bettany like just looking so like good, but it really good is good. So the original Purge I would consider home invasion. Then the following ones I would consider social collapse. It's so weird because the original one, like I think people forget that because there was the show and then there's so many sequels that people forget that the original one is tightly packed into a house. Like the whole entire original one is tightly packed into the house, and then it doesn't go outside of the home until the sequels and the show, which the show was very interesting. It took a while for season 1 for me to get into it. It wasn't until like the last 3 or so episodes that it was really interesting, and I feel like they could have done a better job of that. And I'm looking, I don't think I've seen season 2, but I could have, who knows? So like the reason that I pulled this one is because it starts off with a bang. And if you've noticed this about heaven and hell horror, they often start off with an event. Do you know what I mean? Heaven and hell horror rarely starts with just like the town doing their Humpty Dumpty stuff. This one starts off with Michael like falling to earth in LA. He's like cutting off his wings, and you see him like sewing everything together, looting weapons, and all of this stuff. And then you see the cops coming to be like, what the fuck? And then like the demons get into the cops, or it seems like it's demons. It could be other angels, but they get in there and they're just like, whoa. Do you know what I'm talking about? The movement that they made. And then it's like their faces change and they're like more monstrous and they're trying to kill him, and then he kills them with reckless abandon. Doesn't even care that they're like the human being is like a host. He just kills them with reckless abandon, which again is another thing that I always find interesting about the portrayal of angels in film and TV, is they are often filmed as one having no heart at all. They literally don't care. They don't care about the human beings they inhabit, and they do not care about killing human beings who are inhabited. They're just like, boop, bye, see you later. Like, nope. And so then after that whole thing takes place, you see the diner, right? And you see that poor dude who, by the way, that guy was also in a Fast and Furious movie. I think it's Tokyo Drift. I'm pretty sure, because he plays like the country guy who is in Tokyo. I can't remember why he's in Tokyo, but he's there and he learns the Tokyo Drift, which is a form of racing. So Kyle is his dad, and that's played by, what's his face? What is his name? I can never remember his name. Y'all, why can't I remember that man's name? And it's not even right. Dennis Quaid. So Dennis Quaid is there. And then there's a dude named Kyle who stops there. Dennis Quaid owns the diner. His son is there, and he's always trying to get his son to just be like not crushing on this chick because, you know, first of all, this chick is pregnant with some other dude's baby, but he still loves her. He just loves her. And I love that. He loved her regardless. Like, he loved her for her. He was one of those guys that was like kind of just sitting there. And I think the thing that I like about this is it's one of the few times that I have seen a love like that portrayed without him being a creep about it, without him expecting things, without her just like falling madly in love with him or anything like that. You kind of get the sense near the end that like they're partners, but they're not necessarily like oh my God, in love. It just, instead of that like sad incel, he's just waiting for her. He's also just like, I'm here. I am your friend, whether you love me or not. I'm here to back you up through this whole situation. So I did love that. Now I'm going to go see what you guys are saying. Ooh, teach us Swedish sayings. I'm going to. Yes. You're yay. Thank you, Leary. All right. So let me hear. Why are we fighting? Peppy, angels give zero fucks. They're too unbothered. Doesn't sit right with me. It's true. Like virtually everything that have the angels in them, it always has them as giving absolutely zero fucks about people. Constantine, you've never seen it more zero fucky than that. Can you even say that? No, Ian Somerhalder. I can't say his name. That's too much. Yes, Sam was his character. Yeah. Listen, I love Fast and Furious. Stevie, don't make fun of it. I love it. It's the same movie every single time, and I love it because I know how it's going to go every single time, and it gives me joy. Does anyone for real think that all these stories about heaven and hell is just a different species of humans or like aliens, and they've always messed with humans and they don't care about us? Yes, Yes. I've agreed with that. I would definitely agree with that. We love a non-creepy dude. The bar is on the floor, but still fact. Thank you. This is Lethal. I'm wearing Lethal Cosmetics today. Burp. I decided to play in this again, and I'm wearing this shade on the outer V. This is on the inside, and I have a little bit of this pink right here. So I played with this. I also have a little bit of something else on the unders, and I'm using my JD Glow liner. So that's a good time. Bethany, I'm a pastor and have studied demonology and happen to believe aliens are just angels or demons. Many civilizations have thought that too. Y'all, okay. So we have both sides of this. Okay, cool. Yeah, angels are all religions are way closer to aliens than humans, thousands of wings and eyes and etc. Yes, see, okay, yay. This is kind of fun to do live. Yes, so that's the thing that I liked about this is it starts off with that whole bang where you're immediately drawn into the movie. You don't have to go through, and I think you really have to do that with a lot of these heaven and hell films, because if you don't get people right off the jump, especially with the subject matter at hand, it's very difficult to get a hold of them later. To like, if you don't jump off right at the beginning, it's hard to get a hold of people. Yes, Bethany, I have as well. I lived with one. I'm smiling because I lived through it, but yeah. Wow, you guys are like, yeah. So here's the thing. One of the reasons that angels don't have humanity, to me, like this is my opinion on it, is because they were never human. So that's why I think it's very interesting that a lot of people who make these kinds of stories adhere to that aspect of it, that angels were never human. So they're not going to have the compassion and the feelings that human beings do. We're like, oh my gosh, like, they're just not going to have that feeling at all because they were just never human. So they're writing it from the perspective of they were never human beings. God created the angels, and then like they were never human. They just went around doing like robot angel shit. Robot angel shit. That is going to be my next merch shirt. Robot angel shit. So they're at the diner and people start converging on this diner in bits and pieces. You have that woman who is now on the Umbrella Academy. She plays the handler. And I feel like she was in something else. Like I feel like she was in some doctor show, but I can't be sure. And she's there with her husband and their daughter, who for some reason is just like all gothed out and sketchy. You have Tyrese, who shows up at some point. No, like, I don't know why Tyrese is there, but Tyrese shows up. And you just have all these people arriving at this diner. And in this diner is this little old lady, right? And she's just sitting there doing her thing. And you're not really paying attention to the little old lady. And the waitress's name is Charlie. And Charlie works at Charlie works at the restaurant, the little diner. And she smokes while she's pregnant because, you know what, she didn't want this baby in the first place. So she just really don't care. And they're like in this diner when the TV and the radio just start falling apart. My nose is just like randomly, suddenly leaking. I'm so sorry. Who wrote Legion? Let me go see. It was written by Peter Schnick and Scott Stewart. Like, I don't know if it was a book, but what am I saying? The movie. I'm like, the movie. And then everything is like, as the TV goes, thank you, Samantha. I appreciate that. You guys don't have to do that. I thank you every time you do. Thank you so much. It's appreciated greatly. So, see, yeah. Yes. So like you said, Bethany, angels have a job period. They're not humans, they're creatures. And I love it. I love people who write them this way, because even in like one of the things that makes Supernatural such a fun show is that you see what happens when angels gain humanity. It is actually not good for them because, like, yes, do we all like Cass? Yes. But it's like when he gained humanity, it was bad for him, because then whenever anything happened, he had difficulty controlling any kind of possession or any kind of things that happened, because he got that humanity and then didn't know how to handle it when he like got godlike powers and all this kind of stuff. He just like went full nuts. And I don't think he would have gone full nuts if he had been an angel already and not had gained humanity and then got godlike powers. He would just handle up on shit like normal. So anyways, this old lady, Gladys, this old lady, when she's sitting there and she basically tells everybody in the diner, like, because you're all gonna die. Like, so creepy. And then when that's how she crawled. She was like on the walls. Listen, when I tell you, I would have murdered that old lady so fast. Like, there would not be, these people were like, maybe she's ill. No. Because then Michael comes in, and typically these fights usually are between Michael and Gabriel, virtually every time, because they're like God's favorite sons. So yeah, it was Cat Walsh. Okay. Thank you. So yeah, no, they tend to jump though. That's fun. When the human body fails, they leave that one. Yep. This is so fun. Oh my gosh. Yeah, creepy walk. And it's because she just looked like such a kindly old lady. You know what I mean? And when Michael comes to the diner, he's like there just in time. There's like, you see all these like, was it birds? Like, there was just a large amount of like flying ass animals, like, and they all come. And then you just start seeing them basically do the, what I call end of days buckle down. So in virtually all of these films, there is kind of like an end of days buckle down, especially if they are in one location. I think one of the things I like about so many horror films is how many of them are tight tightly shot and tightly packed into one location. That always makes it very exciting because not the Devil's Rejects, but House of a Thousand Corpses, I think was actually very, very good because it was not put in a gazillion and one locations and you weren't moving from here to here to here. So when you put it into one location, you have an obligation to make this good. You can't flounder on the location. You can't flounder on the tension. And I think they did a very good job of not floundering on that tension. It's like you could feel it mounting as people arrived into the diner. Like as people started coming in and as people started sitting down, you start realizing that like this is the last stand. Do you know what I mean? Like they're sitting there and you start to realize this is the last stand. And when Michael comes in talking his shit, everybody's just like, what? He's like, this is it. Like the world's about to end. And I'm trying to help you guys not have the world end. And the only way to do that is to protect this chick's baby. And everybody's like, what? He's like, yeah, we got to protect her baby. And he's like explaining to them that I am here against God's orders to save this earth because I think that it's worth saving, basically. And even though he's not the most humane, he just looked at it and was and we'll get there, but he looks at this situation from a very particular perspective of, we're just going to be giving up. Like this will be the third time that you started over and you promised you weren't going to do this again. Like basically looking at his dad, like, Dad, you promised you were going to do this again. You're doing this again and I can't let you do this. So he's come over here to like save this baby because it's always got to be a baby. It's always got to be a baby. There's always a baby in heaven and hell horror. Whether somebody's going to birth it, whether somebody's going to be birthed, it's like there's always a baby or a child. And then I'm going through making sure I don't, forget anything. And then they're just kind of all stuck in the diner, just like they have to stay there. And as they're staying there, like a bunch of stuff starts to go down. All the demon type people start showing up. Everybody's trying to get into the diner. Michael is securing the diner and like telling everybody what to do and how to do it. And yeah, that little old lady was Moss for me. Like I'm going to tell you right now, every time I think about it, she's like, I was like, no, that is not okay, lady. I wonder if I'm allowed to show a clip without like losing my whole life. I'm afraid to show a clip and then they're like, you copyright infringement. So I'm not going to do that right now, but I'm going to figure out how to start doing this in these so that I can start doing them because that would be pretty sweet. Oh wait, hold on. I forgot. I just lost it. Okay. This is like my least favorite one that gives the plots. So I don't know why I'm doing this. And don't forget that old lady bit Howard in the neck though. And he's the dad. So he's the dad with the teenage daughter and Kate Walsh, Kate and Howard and daughter. So Kate, Howard and daughter, the old lady bites him in the neck, crawls on the wall all crazy like, and then they end up fucking her up. So I'm like, they end up fucking her up. That is the exact thing that happened there. It's flies. So they're trying to get Howard to the hospital and then all these flies come and it's like, bye Tajaria. Is it too frightening? I'm sorry. I'm like, oh, I did not mean to scare anybody. Okay. So basically they have to like get back into the diner because obviously they're not going to make it out with the swarm. Is it swarm? The swarm of flies. I was trying to think about the word. Okay. All right, Tajaria, thank you. So from there, they're all trying to like lead it into a fight, but Howard ends up getting like snatched up. And of course, Kate Walsh is like, no, we gotta get him. And they're like, ugh. And he's just like, no, don't worry about it. Just like stay in the house. And she's like, I can't. Well, I'm calling it the house. It's the diner. So they just stay in there. And even though she's trying to rescue, like trying to get him, she can't. So they all sleep overnight. And there's like tender moments with Charlie pregnant chick and Sam, or whatever his actual name is. What is his name in this? I can't remember. But anyway, it's old dude. Let's see. What is his name? I can't remember, but there's a dude. We're just going to call him Sam because that's his name in Tokyo Drift. So Sam. Yeah. So then Sam ends up kind of having like a warm moment with her, just being like, hey girl. And like, she's like, yeah. And he's like, you have a baby. And she's like, I don't know what's so special about this baby. And I think she's really upset at this point because she feels, as is typical in these movies, that God has given up on her. There was really no reason. God did not care because like the guy that she got pregnant with, essentially you can tell like was a dirtbag, left her behind with a baby. And she lives in this shady town and she's just really going nowhere with her life. So she feels very much like she's been abandoned herself. So she doesn't understand why she would be chosen, which of course, that's the reason that you were chosen, girlfriend, because you lost all your faith. So you have to be, that's how these movies work. If you lose all the faith and you are hopeless, then like you were chosen. Like if you, a hopeless person can survive and keep your baby, then the world survives. That's usually how it works. So they're all sleeping overnight and then it's the next morning. Listen, when I tell you what happened, hi Daisy. When I tell you what happened here, you hear it. We all know. You all know. She hears, Kate Walsh's character hears Howard be like yelling for her. It's a trap, okay? And they have him like tied out in the sun to basically, I feel like it was like almost a crucifix that he was on, and he's just covered in boils. And she's just like trying to say, she's like, he's alive. And they're like, no, it's a trap. And she's like, no, he's alive. She tries to get out there and oh my God, they try to rescue her and stop her from rescuing him. He explodes and his boils are all acid. It's just like, so gross. I'm so mean. And then like one of the dudes die trying to shield her from getting the acid. And she gets a little bit on her, but it's not that big of a deal. So she ends up like basically getting another dude killed because she couldn't have any sense about herself and not do that and not understand that it was a trap and oh, those boils. Ugh. Okay, I'm good. I almost threw up because I was like, ugh, I saw them in my mind's eye and I got grossed out and like I made them worse than they were in the movie and I apologize. So they start hearing though on the radio that there are like other survivors. And so they're sitting here trying to figure out, okay, we've got to go see them. But Michael's like, don't go there. He's like, I feel like it's trapped. I feel like it's a trap. It will also be like way too vulnerable traveling because we have to survive this particular night. Like we have to survive this in particular. The baby has to be born. Where? We have a troll? Oh, we do. That was weird. I'm like, that was weird. Wait a minute. Let me make sure. That was weird. Like, that was creepy. Hi, Raphael. Yeah, seventh sign. Yes. Good looking honky was blocked. What a weird day. Don't worry about it. Well, guys, it looks like I do have a job opportunity. It does look like that job is, I would consider it essential work at this point. I'm so sorry. Moving on, I'm so sorry. Hi, Mia. Wait, okay. So this is when things get crazy. Old boy is dead. He exploded into boils. Another boy died trying to save, and I feel like it was the old black dude that died. I feel like it was Charles Denton. Charles Denton is the guy who died trying to save Kate Walsh. So we are down to the rest of the people are still in the diner. And then, of course, up top of the diner, Tyrese is up there with, I feel like it's somebody else. I'm not sure. But anyways, there. So they end up staying, and then you see a car pull up, and they pull up, and you're like, what the hell's going on? And that car pulls up, and everybody's just kind of running around, and you think that like something is happening. Is that this movie? I feel like it is. And they think that it's a child. And so they're about to go out there and do something and try to save the child, but it's not. It is not. It's more demons. Okay. Well, really, it's actually angels. They're like, there's like an angel horde, angel demon horde. Anyway, it's more of them. This is the scene. Okay. Let me just get the pictures of this because guys, this ain't okay. Okay. So let me just like pull this up because I'm always afraid. Like I said, I'm always afraid to get like copyright striken. I don't know how to say that. Struck. We're going to go with struck. All right. So let me see where, because I feel like they have photos of it, images. Okay. This is where shit gets real, real, real. This dude, like, let me see if I can get this right. Here we go. Just a little bit. That is not, I hated that. Every fiber of my being, the like freaky deaky long ice cream man was my least favorite thing. Like, I did not like that old lady, but sweet baby, oh my good gracious, I hated that. Just the way that he moved. I don't like creepy long-legged movements, long arm movements like that. And it was like, whoa. And the way he's like, ah, and his mouth, his like jaw comes unhinged, where it's like, ah. I did not like any of that. That was all like dry punani energy. That was not good. That was bad. And I did not look like that at all. Fat feet. I love that. Struken? What's struken? I don't even know if I said that right. Yes, the long, yeah. No Slender Man, none of that. Like, all of that was horrifying. So I did not like when he rolled up like that and was just like running and doing all of that shit. It was too much for me. Like, even now when I watch it, I hate that part because it like makes me get the weebies. Like, I get the, where I'm just like, ugh. Because could you just imagine, there you are minding your business from all the rest of these demonic assholes, and then this thing comes like, and like he's actually that long for the most part. I think that they just added like one part of prosthetics for him. It's like, it's not a lot because he's been creepy things in other movies. And I went to see that too because, you know, I'm nosy like that. Oh, God. And there's his big old mouth. Okay, here it is. Because this is the picture I think I have on my thumbnail. Like, y'all. No. Yes, dry punani energy. Like that, like, and then his teeth were so little. And I have a problem with little teeth like that. Give me a second. Ew, okay. So sorry. I'm so sorry. Then like there's oh gosh, there's too many stills of like that thing now. Now all I can see are stills of like that creepy long creep. Like oh my god, he's such a creep, and it is just too much for my blood. That guy freaks me out so much, even though that's not what he looks like. But no, nope. Okay, so let's go back to where we were telling the tale. So anyway, they're starting to get overwhelmed, and then Gabriel shows up. Gabriel is a big bastard. He's got like fucking wings, okay? He is not fucking around, and he fucks up Bob, which I believe is the dude played by Dennis Quaid. And Michael is trying to get everybody to escape, and he's like, and I think Jeep is played by Tyrese Gibson, but I don't know who Jeep is. Jeep is either the guy who's I've been calling Sam. I can never remember anybody's name. But anyway, he gets everybody to escape. It says like find the prophets and learn to read the instructions. And I think Jeep is the like poor simpleton. He really does a good job of playing like a super simpleton. Bye, Amber. Yay. I'm not going to be super duper long because I have another live to be at tonight. Which, by the way, guys, let me put that in a banner. Let's go. Oh wait, no. Oh, look at that. That's cool. Oh, look at that. Okay, hold on. Let me hide it. Okay, let me do this. Oh, yay. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to do a thing. I'm trying to do something somewhat professional, but doing it unprofessionally. Tonight. I can't type with these nails I mean, I can, but it's like, it's very difficult. Boom. Boom. Okay, anyway, I got too excited by that and I apologize. Yes. Yeah. Guillermo, I also, you know what's funny is like, I don't consider a lot of what Guillermo del Toro does as like necessarily like horror. I don't know what to classify some of his movies. So, all right, bye, Samantha. So then there's like bunches and bunches of possessed human beings who are really trying to get like Charlie's baby because she does give birth, like in all the midst of all of this stuff, she gives birth. I guess Jeep is the like little country bumpkin dude. So he's the dude who's like been loving her from afar, who we were previously calling Sam, but now I know his real name is Jeep in the film. So now like they're trying to like get the baby and get her somewhere safe. And it's a whole big ass mess. And while all running around, like it doesn't matter about the rest of the people because they all gonna get fucked up. The only people who are that we're really looking at right now is Gabriel and Michael, who are in like an intense battle. And then Gabriel ends up stabbing Michael in the chest. Like he has like he's like, and Michael's just like, because he disappears. Okay, he disappears because angels don't leave bodies behind. So he just like, that's the sound. So they end up blowing up the diner, hoping that they can. Bob does, and that's the dad, Dennis Quaid. Bob is Dennis Quaid. He ends up the diner so that he can hopefully kill Gabriel, not really understanding like he can't really do that, but he does kill all the rest of the possessed ass humans because they start getting in. They're like, because that's what they do anyway. So when Michael dies, Jeep gets like all these tattoos on his body, and he's like, these must be instructions. So it looks like everything is going well as they're like trying to escape, but of course not, because the movie isn't over yet. Gabriel shows up and now there's a whole ass battle, y'all. Jeep and Gabriel are fighting and they're like pacha pacha, but obviously Jeep is a human and Gabriel is like a full-on black winged angel, like kind of wings. Like I love that part about angels though, when they like flick up their wings and it's like I really want wings like that. Like I feel like I should, and I'm pretty sure there's a place that you can buy big functional wings, and I really want them in my life. I feel like I should be able to have them, just like me and my sound effects. It's just like I'm a sound effects person for like everything. For like I've been doing this my entire life. There was a time when I once called windshield wiper fluid, because that's a lot to say and I could never remember to say it. I just called it. I was like, I'm out of. And then like, if you worked on my car for a while, you knew. You knew what I was talking about. So then. And of course, the teenage, like everybody's dying, and they are battling. Gabriel is fighting with Jeep, and Jeep looks like he's gonna get fucked up. And just when it looks like Gabriel is gonna kill him, guess who appears on the rocks, looking mighty with around him? Michael. He is not dead. God has given him another chance to prove him wrong. God's like been like, you know what? Maybe I was wrong, considering how much you are willing to fight for this whole thing. I'm bringing you back. So he brings him back and he comes down from the heavens like, and another battle ensues. And Gabriel is just like, what? Why? Why does he love you more? And basically, Michael says, and I have to look at this because I don't want to get this one wrong. He's like, listen, Gabriel, you gave God what he asked for, but I gave him what he needed. So Gabriel followed orders. God was like, destroy the earth. Fuck it. Michael was like, you said you weren't going to do this, and I'm what you needed. I'm what you needed. And so then he's all like, and anyway, like they actually don't end up like having like a whole battle again, because Gabriel is like super ashamed and like his wings droop like womp, womp, and then he just like leaves. And like you feel like it's almost anticlimactic, but it's not, because like seeing Michael come back like descended from heaven, just like like that, like it's really, really cool. Are you serious? That's amazing. Listen, I'm doing good works. Yeah, Michael died and was like, Dad, look what my brother did. And so Gabriel just kind of sulks off because he realizes that, like, you know, Dad has many tests, and one of those tests was seeing who would remember, who amongst his ranks would remember what he had promised and the things that he actually needed. And it turns out he needed Michael. And so Michael ends up telling Jeep, that poor simpleton, because he really is like quite simple. Throughout most of the movie, he looks like this. So like that's his face through most of it. And he ends up, so Michael ends up saying, you know, listen, Jeep, you are actually the true protector of the child. Because like this isn't over yet. He's going to have to protect this child for a very long time. Keeping this child alive means keeping the world going well. So, because like I feel like this baby is going to be some kind of messiah, basically. It's going to be like a messiah that leads the people to the good instead of to the darkness. And so now Charlie and Jeep take off. They have their baby and they're like driving in the Jeep. And then she says the quote again, and it ends kind of like Terminator, basically, where it's like all of these weapons in the vehicle. And she just says that again, like, I don't know, maybe you just got tired of all that shit. And that is Legion. Now, the biggest reason, of course, I want to talk about Legion. One, I love it. The special effects in here are really, really good. I liked the special effects a lot. I thought that they were fun. They were well done. And they weren't super CGI, although you do have to use a lot of CGI sometimes when it comes to like possession type movies, which I don't get mad at. Some people get really mad about CGI. I don't like CGI blood. I think that that's crap because it looks CGI. So it just like ruins, to me, that part of the movie. Oh. Hi, Lucy. We were talking about the movie Legion, and it's almost finished, actually, but it's nice to see you. I aim to misbehave. So sorry, that was weird. But the thing is that, like, I wanted to talk about this one because I'm hoping that it'll bring people over into watching some more of the heaven and hell horror and how, like, all of this affects our pop culture, right? Because I think that it affects how other movies and television shows are made in regards to talking about angels and demons and like the end of days. And it seems like a good time to talk about the end of days, I guess. But it seems like a good time to kind of discuss this kind of a thing, because I think that these are just like very good movies, whether or not you're like a person of faith or whatever it is that you believe. I think that these are just super fun to watch and gives you something to think about and just kind of like give you like a nice fantasy about the world in a way that doesn't, have to end up being a conversation or anything like that. I like them in horror form because it doesn't have to be like, oh, well, actually, this means this, and actually, you can actually just sit and enjoy it. You can sit, have a good time, and think that the world's going to end. Because like these, you never know. Is the world going to actually end? Or is there going to be a savior? Who knows? Who knows? So I just think that you have a really good time with this. And if you are a lover of supernatural and you haven't seen this or The Prophecy, highly recommend you watch them because you will actually see the influence of specifically The Prophecy on supernatural. And I feel like even this sort of has a little bit of it, but you see like that influence on how they really start going into the God part of it and the God not caring and the angels not being humans. That stuff is really freaking cool. And I love that they do it that way because it's so cool to really see that, because people will be like, well, why don't they? And I'm like, well, they're not humans, duh, so they don't really care. Because throughout the whole movie, you can even see that Michael still doesn't care about the people. He doesn't actually care in the sense of humans caring about things. He's very much like just there trying to save the earth. Very matter of fact about it. Just like, I got to save this baby, could care less about anybody else in that joint. And you could see it. Like, he's like, you die. Like, I'm only here for the baby. Forget you guys. Like, but I just thought it would be fun to kind of do this once in a blue moon live. And especially with the way that my ADD has been working on me lately, it's been a little difficult for me to try to like sit and film. I have ideas. I've written stuff down. Every time I try to film it, I get very like, whoop, 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 very fast. So I figured if I was live, I might be able to like sit here and communicate with you guys. And so that was fun. Oh, I like Lamangore. I like her, Mikey. I love her. She's fun. Ooh, yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yay. I know. Alanis Morissette was a very good God. Very good God. That was like my favorite. So yeah, so here's what's going to probably happen moving forward with Terror Tuesday. I feel like there's going to be 3 of them that are filmed, 1 live, and then a break where I just chillax and don't do it. So I think that might be where I'm moving, but there's going to be about 3 that are filmed. And I sit down and film them because that's usually about the levels that my ADD will like cycle. A lot of this has to do with when my endometriosis gets kind of crazy and my thyroid gets nuts at the same time. My ADD just doesn't handle, like, all those 3 things together make absolutely nuts. So it just makes me just like blah, blah, blah. So it's easier for me to just kind of move stuff around as I need to. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. I feel like we're going to start like a little one where we're going to go through each and every Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, we're going to talk about Nightmare on Elm Street 2 at some point, because that needs to be discussed hardcore. And I feel like I'm trying to put up what movie is next so that you guys have an opportunity to watch it. I'm putting it a lot of times on my community page, and I may be putting it on my Instagram stories. So that way you guys have an opportunity to tune in. And if we're doing it live, then we get to talk about it all together. But I'm hoping that this was fun for you guys, and I hope you had a wonderful time. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I appreciate all of you who made it. If you're watching this on the replay, thank you. Hi, appreciate you. And I'm going to go now because it's time to take this guy for his WALK. All right, guys, thank you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. I have to push the button, baby. And until next time, deuces.